Are you a business owner, artist, model, or savvy entrepreneur? Then we'd like to welcome you to Apex Couture magazine, the new wave of publications with budget-friendly advertising packages to fit the need for your brand. 100% Black owned. As part of the new Black media, we also cover the latest music, entertainment news, fashion, politics, and important Black social issues with common sense commentary in a hot new couture conversations column where we interview celebrities and prominent people we believe you should know. All of this goes down at www.apexcouturemag.com. APEXCOTUREMAG. Contact us at apexcouturemag@gmail.com or 321-947-4705. Head over to apexcouturemag.com and experience pure Black excellence today.
All right. What's happening, good people? You already know Apex Couture magazine, killing the shit like we always do. 2021, and this is another episode of Coture Conversations. So check this out, right? What I always tell y'all, if I'm talking to somebody, I feel like this is somebody you need to know. And if you've been following this magazine, you done seen her up in there. So don't act like you don't know who this is. Go ahead and tell these people who you are.
What's up, y'all? My name is Carol Rodriguez, aka Carol K.
That's right. That's right. So how you been doing? What's going on with you?
I've been doing good. I've just been trying to stay safe, stay out the way, social distance, keep my mask on.
Yeah, you out in Cali, right?
Yeah, I'm out in LA.
How y'all looking out there? Y'all open and moving around?
It's been a mess. For the most part, we've been closed, and we were open for a little bit in the summer, and then we just shut down again. So now we're just opening like a few days ago. And so it's better. Yeah, we're doing like outdoor seating.
Because like here, I'm in Orlando, here in Florida, man.
Y'all never closed.
Yeah, with the exception of people walking around with masks, I mean, they busting moves. Ain't nothing, ain't no. I was just in Jacksonville over the weekend in Jacksonville, Florida. I went to the Avenues Mall, and it was just like open season. Only thing is everybody got on masks, but it wasn't nothing different. So when I hear that, it trips me out because I'm like, y'all, what? Shut down? Like, they ain't doing that over here.
Out here.
So let's talk about some things. Let's talk about some things. First, you got the X Track Star. Talk to us about that right there.
So I dropped the line during the pandemic.
Yeah.
It's called X Track. It's called X Track Star versus Track Star. The line is composed of hoodies, t-shirts, crop tops, oversized crop tops, and I'm dropping a jacket, a windbreaker, when my video drops to my new song. But so the clothing line is basically meant for anybody who loves the sport of track and field. I have on an X Track Star one on right now. Yeah. I also have the same hoodie that says Track Star. So a lot of people who are currently running, people who are competing right now, they were the Track Star ones, or people who actively like to run, they were Track Stars. And then people who used to run, because everybody knows they used to run track back in high school, back in junior high. Back in the day, you could rock an X Track Star hoodie. So, I really wanted to make something for track and field.
I want you to talk about the, tell them about, because you the fastest woman in Puerto Rico, right?
Yeah, so I hold 6 national records in Puerto Rico. I hold the 60 meter, 100 meter, 200 meter, and 400 meter. And so for me, I felt like coming up when I was running track, there was really no clothing line dedicated to track, because you had Nike, Adidas, Reebok, Asics, New Balance. They all kind of have their different element. Nike was track when it first came out, but now like basketball kind of took over that, And then with that being said, it's like I wanted to come out with a line that celebrated track and field, because so many people competed in the sport. So that was my goal, to come out with something that people felt like, I could identify with this song, because from what I heard, when people buy the hoodies, people always come up to them and ask them like, oh, you used to run track? Like, oh, I used to run track. It's like a whole conversation starter. So it's really
That's dope. That's a dope concept. I ain't never ran track.
I gotta send you one.
Yeah, shoot me one of them. You know what I'm saying? I rock that joint. I ain't never really ran track. I ain't really do much of no sports at school.
It's okay.
You couldn't tell. I'm not ashamed. I was You know, I was in school. Like, I was a rapper. I had long hair. That was back in the '90s and stuff like that. So you couldn't tell me. I was
so
too
look,
cute.
you could get the track star one because you could get the track star one because you was a star on a different type of track.
Word,
like a different track, like track star.
Let me get one, and y'all make sure y'all go order that. So let's get down to the reason for the season. You got the dope new single. Let's talk about it.
Thank you. So my new single is called Real Shit though. It's been a minute since I put music out. This is my first song. Yeah, this is my first song in a year. So during this whole pandemic shutdown, I had to take time to just do a lot of different reflecting and social work and frontline shit. So for me, it was like, now that I'm back into doing music, I pretty much took everything that I went through in 2020 and just put it all on one track because I feel like right now in the hip hop game, it's important to really like, stop talking about the same bullshit. The clubs is really not all the way open. So some people are turning up, but for the most part, that's irresponsible. If you turn it up in the club with no mask on, I'm just gonna say it. That's irresponsible.
Yes,
so for me, it's like, I'm not trying to lecture or anything, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep it real and say, right now, with everything that happened with the systemic racism being brought to the light, the white supremacy happening, we had a terrible president, terrible administration, everything is kind of coming to the light. And so with that being said, I felt like it was important for me to put a record out that reflected on what everybody was going through, especially us as Black people. So it's like, it had to resonate. And I'm just tired of seeing like everybody talk about the same shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was important.
I'm so thankful. I'm so glad that you said that. I'm glad that you did that. Y'all already know how I feel about that. I feel that I feel that the art or the music should reflect the times. And you're right. People are making music. Everybody trying to keep this. Everybody trying to act like it was, before COVID, BC. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
Yeah, everybody still like is everything normal? And we know it's not normal. We know what we seeing happening to us. We just got through seeing the police spray paint the little 9-year-old Black girl. Spray her with the mace. We watching all of this stuff happen right here in Central Florida, right down the street from me in Kissimmee, Osceola County. Police slammed the little young Black girl on her face. We watching this stuff happen.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that's right here in Florida. They don't even be playing. And I got daughters, I got sons. You know what I mean? So, yes, I understand everybody want to be in bliss. Everybody love to just not see it. I don't see it. We just turn it up. I don't want to be on that. But at some point, you gotta, because what's gonna stop it? Who gonna stop it? They ain't gonna stop it. We gotta stop it. You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you doing that and saying that. That's very important. And the fact that you came back with it. So now what's coming behind it? Because now I gotta be looking forward to a record, to an EP album. What's going on with that?
Yeah. So my EP that I'm getting ready to work on, I've actually been working on, it's called Self-Made. Okay. And with that being said, it's called Self-Made. And that was actually supposed to drop last year because what happened with everything as far as the Olympics getting canceled and everything switched up, I actually pushed it back and delayed it. So now I'm in a sense to where I don't even know if I'm going to even drop that EP now, or if I'm just going to focus on a new project and have it a whole different vibe and kind of bring it off of what I talked about in the last song, talking about what's happening and how everything is moving forward progressively. So I think that's the good thing about writing your own music. I can literally sit and kind of like brainstorm and see, okay, I'm just dropping this record, talking about this type of content, talking about what's happening. So now I'm seeing where, okay, if I'm going to leave the EP from last year and then maybe bring that out later on in the year, maybe I'll do 2 projects this year. Maybe I'll drop, something that's kind of talking about current times, social issues that's happening now. And then towards the end of the year, like end of the summer, drop like a little something fun for the summer, but not really fun, but still on my hustle shit. Because everything I talk about is always going to talk about the grind and the hustle. That's what it's always been for me. That's my whole life story, So, and then, like I said, with that being said, even this last record that I talked about, you could still hear the hustle during this pandemic. Like during this pandemic, I came out with a clothing line. You know, I was able to like take my money and be resilient, you know, and just making sure I had like the proper food for like, you know, because everything was going crazy. People was losing their houses and not being able to like take care of just normal grocery bills. So for me, it was like about being resilient. So, and that even kind of plays off of the record, the album Self, or the EP Self-Made. Because at the end of the day, when you're self-made and when you're trying to, you know, make something out of nothing, you got to be resilient. You got to be patient. You got to be dedicated. So that all kind of, both projects, I feel like will have the same undertone and the same message, but it might be from two different perspectives. One could be from what we're dealing with now currently, and then one could be kind of like my overall, just what I became as a woman. So
we're definitely looking forward to all of that. And you know what? I just thought about it. I have an ad up on the site for the X Track Star. It's just right there. Y'all know y'all done seen it. Y'all clicked on it. Yeah. So you know what I mean? So I mean, everything that you're saying, that spot on. I'm definitely digging that, and I just you know you write your own music. That's so dope. Yeah, that's so dope. And you know believing in putting concepts and, you know, some type of substance to the music, man, because I know I be talking like an old head on here. I really don't give a shit. Guess what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be an old head, goddammit, because at some point, man, we gotta, I mean, when are we gonna be real, man? Like, niggas is throwing prop money in videos and shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know, ain't none of this shit really real. You know, everything plastic these days, man. And everybody's so hard. Everybody just ain't nobody going through no hard time. Niggas, everybody rich. You know what I'm saying? Everybody smashing everybody lady. You know, I mean, I can just, you know what I'm saying? I can just keep going.
It's so sad because it really is that.
It's the same thing. And my, you know, the reason why I talk about that for those of you that's getting in your feelings and shit, you know, I don't like to spare feelings. But the reason being is, like, we used to be able to decipher the difference between groups. Like sometimes these days I be hearing an artist, and I think it's another artist. I'm like, oh, that ain't such and such? Damn, niggas sound just alike. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody sounding alike. People are grab, seeing like, oh, they doing that. That's how I'm finna do that. Instead of, you know, doing their own thing. Like, all and MJG didn't sound like Wu-Tang. Outkast didn't sound like Red and Meth. You see what I'm saying? Like, you were different. Yeah.
It's funny because me and my friends have this conversation all the time. It's like the music conversation. We're gonna say, okay, so who's your favorite rapper? Who's your favorite artist? And literally, it's like, I don't even like try to like throw ageism or whatever, ageism shade. But I feel like, for me, most of my top artists are like people who are like 30 and up. I'm just gonna keep it real. I mean, just because I feel like these younger artists, like, first of all, a lot of them don't even write their own shit. Half of them don't write their own shit. Let's just be real. Half of them got like 3 or 4 writers writing for them. You know, I'm not that, if they want to do that, that's cool. However, I just feel like, you know, for me, it's like, I prefer these older, not older, because they're not even older. It's just the industry tries to say they're old, but 30 is young. 31, 30, that's still young. And then at the end of the day, it's like, you can, these rappers like the Kendricks and the, you know, the Nipseys and the Drakes, and you have the older rappers, like, you can decipher their music. You can hear their song and know right away, oh, that's Drake. That was Nipsey. Yeah, exactly. That's Kendrick. And it's a totally different vibe. Even with the females, it's even worse. With the females, it's even worse. Like, with the women, with the female rappers, it's like Nicki Minaj. You have Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj is by herself. Yeah, she's on some whole different shit. Nicki Minaj is in a whole different. Yeah, she you know what I'm saying? She's the reason why a lot of these. Yeah, besides Little Kim, before her, you know, it was Kim, and then you had a break, and then Nicki, and then it was Nicki for 10 years. Like, she had a 10-year run. Then you had all these other artists. You have Cardi, you have Megan. And the thing with these other artists, I will say, I'm always gonna show love to females, regardless. I'm all about supporting women. However, the thing that makes me upset about the women rappers, I don't even think it's the artists. I think it's the label behind them. Yeah, I feel like the label purposely makes these, especially women of color, like Black, Latino, women of color, they over-sexualize. It's crazy. And it's like, for me, it makes me annoyed because I think about how we look in Black history and we talk about slavery, and they used to over-sexualize Black women during that time. So for me, it's like, okay, I get being sexy. I get being like showing some skin, showing some being sexy. I get confident and beautiful, but I feel like some of it is just over the top and is doing too much. I feel like, and it's not even the female artist per se. I think it's the label, it's the bag that's behind them that's pushing them. So that's the thing. Like,
I mean, you know, that's the thing. You take artists like let's just say artists like Rhapsody, right? Exactly. Every female artist ain't gonna be able to pull that off. They ain't even label's not about to have that. You ain't finna come talking like that. They gonna be like, man, if you don't pull your ass out and get, you know what I'm saying? You don't get listen. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not about they just not having it, you know, and so it's hard. It's hard for it. I mean, whatever they're getting paid to do, that's what they're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Like, the label's not gonna allow that type of music, you know, because they're not doing it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I
think the reason why. Yeah, and I think the reason why it's not happening, and this is going to go into another social issue, but I think the reason why it's not happening is because I feel like there's an agenda. You know what I'm saying?
I know there's.
You look at who's listening to, you know, the younger, you look at who's listening to the female raps, the female rappers, and right now you have a lot of younger Black women, younger Latino women listening to these rappers, and I feel like, especially for Black women, they're trying to like pretty much mislead and make young girls think that it's okay to do all this crazy shit.
Yeah,
you know? Well, it's like it's not okay.
It all boils down to destroying the nuclear family, the Black family.
Exactly.
So, you know, if nothing is based on love and building marriages, Black women are typically taught through feminism. You don't need no man, you know, and it's typically white women saying, hey, you don't need a man. I'm going to go home to my husband, but you go take your lonely ass home. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You go home and be lonely because you don't need that Black man. But I'm going to go home to my husband. But men ain't shit. They keep saying, no men, no men, women's rights. But I'm going home to mine, but you better not. Don't you go home, man, because you're a strong Black woman, and that's what they're pushing through the music, you know, and you know, put that pussy up, and that's all you're worth. That's all you're worth. You're worth nothing else. And I'm a married man, so I'm gonna tell you like this here, ladies. Boy, you better bring more than that pussy to the table. If you think that's gonna keep, that's why we have so many baby daddies and baby mamas.
Oh, I got this discussion too. Yeah.
Because we think that, and we, you know, a lot of women are being taught that, and men are being taught, you know, we have agendas pushed on us, but I'm saying as far as the female, that's your only, it's taught that I have a pussy and I can bring this to the table, and that's it. That's all I need. Now you can buy me Birkin bags, you can take care of me. And listen, I'm gonna tell you, that shit does not work like that. A man is not finna turn your ass and stay with you like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm married, so I can tell you. And I'm just gonna tell you, ain't no man gonna put up with it, man. Ain't no man gonna put up with it. You gotta bring more than that to the table. And I'm not talking about just finances. You have to be wife material. I ain't saying wifey. Fuck that. You have to be wife material. And there are many elements to being a wife. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and that's the whole thing, you know, that's what it boils down to. Killing
It's crazy. I feel like both genders are being attacked. You got that from the female's perspective, and then the male's perspective. It's the same thing and even worse. You got all these guys smashing their homegirls. Every dude is a drug dealer, this, flashy, this, that, so on and so on. It's just like, really?
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's like we ain't got no morals no more, man. Ain't no morals, and everything is about the bag. That's basically the bottom line. man, I'm chasing that bag, you know, because you hear a lot of rappers saying you ain't talking money, I don't even want to talk, you know. And listen,
Right.
I said money is important. That's how my lights is on in this motherfucker, because we got
Right.
shit, right? You know what I'm saying? And I totally understand. I understand, but when you base everything off of money, you know, and especially guys my age, 30s and older, we understand. We have gone through it, and we understand now. When you base everything on just on money, and you're somebody that'll do anything for money, that's how we get these people that are puppets out there that can be dangled in front of us.
Yeah.
Doing anything, because they'll do anything. I'm going after the bag. Give me the bag and I'll do it. And it's like, oh,
a lot of
good money.
Exactly. They'll sell out. They'll sell their own people out.
Yeah.
They'll do all types of crazy, like just crazy shit. And you're like, what the hell? But it's for the bag, you know?
You know
it's for the bag.
I've
been talking about.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, and like for me, it's like even like in these rappers, like everybody flexing, everybody is pulling up with guns, and everybody's doing this and everybody's doing that, and it's perpetuating violence, and it's perpetuating, you know, multiple baby mamas, and it's putting everything out there just to kind of pretty much, like you said, tear down the nucleus of the Black household.
Yes.
And it's just, for me, it's like I was a sociology major in school, but aside to that, like growing up here in LA, like being, you know, my mom being Black, my dad being Puerto Rican, like I got to see from both sides, and I kind of seen like how shit could go, and I'm just like, at the end of the day, this is all by design. I feel like
it's all by design. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
This I love that we can have this conversation. I love that because it's all by design. None of this shit is happenstance. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
None of it. All of it's by design. And I'm gonna tell you why it's so easy to happen, because we give our culture away free.
Yeah.
It don't. Every genre of music was created by us, and this is a fact. Look the shit. Do you research? We give it away. Country, we gave it away. Rock, gave it away. Jazz, gave it away. We giving away hip hop. Now we haven't let go of hip hop, but what's happening with hip hop is they're like, okay, these niggas don't want to let it go. We're gonna control these niggas. So you gotta understand, when you go to a job, whatever you this is who paying your check. When you go in them people building, you're gonna do what they pay you to do, and you're gonna do what they say. And I know that's why I can't work for nobody, because dealing with, you know, I done been in prison and shit. I'm 39 years old. I done dealt with white supremacy. I know what that shit look like. So I ain't never been good at taking it. You know, like I'm doing my job and you talking to me crazy. I'm like, listen, who the fuck is you talking to, man?
Right.
Listen, ain't about it. We finna fight. In a minute, it's finna be a fight. You ain't my boss no more. You know, so I can't deal with that shit. But it's the same thing with being signed to a label. You only gonna do what they pay you and what they tell you to do. You could you can go in the studio and you could do a conscious record, but you can also, I mean, Too Short talked about this. He wanted to do it. He talked about how he wanted to keep submitting records like The Ghetto, and Columbia Records wasn't having that shit. It was like, nigga, get back in there, and you need to get back in there and get back to pimping. We don't want to hear this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so with at every label, and even with publications, that's why my publication remains Black owned. At every label, there's always a white person at the top. And
always.
With Black publications, there's always a white person at the top. So
always.
If you really think you're gonna like you know, we talk about BET, it is owned by Viacom CBS. And Viacom CBS is owned by National Amusements, which is owned by Sherry Redstone, the daughter of Sumner Redstone, white billionaire. He dead now, but they white billionaire. So you really think these people are gonna allow you to do something that's really empowering for your people?
Right.
Because
this. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
And this goes back to like my whole discussion of, like, for instance, like if you look at a lot of these, how you talked about the different genres of music, how Black people created all the genres of music. I totally agree. We created everything. And my thing is this, when you look at hip hop game and you look at a lot of like your female and male rappers who are Black, you know what I'm saying? Then you look at a lot of your female rappers and male rappers who are white, they're not even talking about the same shit.
No,
they're really not. Like if you listen to what they're saying, like Jack Harlow, for instance, Jack Harlow.
Yeah,
like,
I love that album.
He's not saying nothing about anything that's what, you know what I'm saying? Like
and they
nothing that's gonna really fuck up. Exactly.
You know,
exactly. And
that's the crazy thing about it.
And you look.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. You look at other rappers, like you look at a female rapper, like when a white female rapper, I'm gonna think Iggy Azalea, when she was out, when she was in her prime, she wasn't saying some of the crazy shit that we as Black female artists, what they expect us to do. They weren't over sexualizing her like that. They really weren't. You know what I'm saying?
And she could be sexy in the video without having to talk about it.
Exactly.
You see exactly. So you know, and so when you listening to Black female artists, they lead them with that. They lead them with pussy. My pussy this, and they lead them.
They always want them to exactly. And
yeah, you know.
It's like,
I'm glad you're saying that, man. That's so.
Yeah, crazy. No, I see. We have this debate. Like me and my people always had this debate. Me and my manager, me and my publicist. Like we always talk about this. You know, my manager's a female. She's Black. She's a female. My publicist, you know, design. He's Black. So we have these conversations. We talk about this shit all the time, and it's like, this shit is crazy. Like it really is happening. Yeah. Even going back to looking at like labels and being independent versus signing to a label, and then even looking as far as like, okay, you know, why do artists feel like they need to sign to a label? Ownership is everything. That's what Nipsey talked about. That's everything he talked about, is about ownership. Even going back to like, you know, these BET, looking at all these Fortune 500 companies. All these Fortune 500 companies are basically money from the transatlantic slave trade that happened years ago that built long-term wealth in the white community versus in the Black community. And then it even brings back the conversation of reparations. When I talk about that, white people get uncomfortable. Like, no, there needs to be a form of reparation.
Yeah, there has
because it don't make sense.
Because the reason why they have what they have is from slave money. It's really
that's all slave money.
It's like, think about it. If you know, let's just say a Walmart pays their employees, but let's just say Walmart had all them people working for them and they wasn't paying them shit. So they ain't paying them nothing. They just accumulating all this wealth, hoarding all of this wealth.
Right.
Now Walmart takes all of its wealth and passes it down to all of their children. But them workers, they don't have it. They say, all right, fuck it. Y'all fired, get the fuck out of here. Y'all can go do whatever you want to do. Okay, well shit,
Walmart was America.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We need something. I ain't got no money. Okay, you ain't got no money, get the fuck out of here. And now when you get out of here, you ain't got nothing to work with at all. You ain't passing us nothing down. Like my parents work hard. My mom and dad, you know, been together for over 4 years. But they ain't they're not passing down wealth.
It's not the same.
Yes.
It's not the same.
So all of the
they got a 400-year head start. And at the end of the day, the thing that we did have, they destroyed. We had Black Wall Street.
Man.
And I had a whole discussion about this, saying, you know, the thing about Black Wall Street, could you imagine if Black Wall Street didn't get destroyed? Exactly. Can you imagine how many Black billionaires we have on Wall Street in New York? Like, that's crazy. It would be a totally different thing.
Man, listen, we're supporting each other. Like, you know, when we bring up segregation and integration, right? You know, people, that's a sensitive subject. But segregation was actually bad for us because what happened was we integrated into white society, wanting to be with them. And we had Black-owned businesses. We were spending money with each other. We was like, I want to go with the white people. We went with their ass. Now all of our money, ever since then, all of our money go to them. All our money.
And then with Black Wall Street, they came in and fucked up Black Wall Street.
Yeah, they did. They didn't.
Black Wall Street, they came in and dropped. That's the first time the U.S. military actually dropped. On its own citizens. So it's like at the end of the day, when we did have our own, y'all was jealous. They was talking about, oh, how did this Negro have, you know, I was reading stuff from Washington, how does this Negro have a grand piano in their house and I don't have it in mine? This is what these white people were saying. It's crazy. It's like,
you know what's so crazy? They still do that to this day. They still do that to this day.
Of course.
They
absolutely.
And you know, one major example is the turkey leg hut in Houston. Oh my God, man, them people tried they damnedest to get rid of this Black-owned business because they were so successful. They still trying them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they'll say, hey, pick yourself up by the bootstraps. But when first of all, we didn't have no damn bootstraps. But once we got our once we put our boots on, you trying to take them off us. Just leave us alone.
Right.
Like, you know, everything that we do is sabotaged. There is absolutely no other race that is sabotaged like we are. Nobody.
It's true.
You know,
and that's why when the whole discussion of reparations comes up, I say I'm for reparations. I think they should happen because at the end of the day, everybody tries to bring up everybody else, and I said no, it's not the same. It's totally different. I said there was no studies done when they gave Japanese reparations after in internment camps. So it's like at the end of the day, like it still deeply affects Black people. Period.
Yes,
it affects
exactly.
us. It affects us.
Everybody get in their feeling. It's amazing how when funds and resources are allocated to different races, there's no problem.
It's done like that.
They get. But as soon as they say, all right, this specifically for Black people, everybody like, no, hold on, that's racist. You can't just give something to just them, and it's like, but we don't say shit when everybody getting theirs.
It's crazy because California, I was born and raised in California, and California people don't really know how California is. People see California as like, it's the biggest state, it's the most democratic state. California is a trip. California, like living here, growing up here is a trip. Like, you know what I'm saying? And even like the demographics, like, the demographic breakdown, it goes white, Latino, which is mainly Mexicans here in California. Then you have Asian, then you have Black, then you have Native American. That's the breakdown of how it is. Mm-hmm. And it's a trip here because here it's Black people here in LA. This is like research, you can look this up. As a Black person living in LA, you are 10 times more likely to go homeless in LA.
Wow.
Because of systemic racism. If you come out to LA right now and you drive down the street, you drive down downtown past Skid Row, you come over here to Hollywood where I live on Sunset, all the homeless people are mainly Black men. And it's all due to systemic racism. And it's crazy because it wasn't like, I've been here my whole life. Mind you, like the last 4 years, it has jumped. Obviously when Trump was in office, because he did a lot of funding, bullshit cuts and all types of shit. It was a lot of shit that he did that fucked us up. However, like even if you look back in the history of California, when we had affirmative action here, we had affirmative action here. And when we had it here, I was too young to be in school, but I remember looking at the demographic breakdown, a lot of Black people were able to get into colleges, which was good. So even me looking like, okay, I'm gonna apply, whether I come through track, I'm gonna apply through affirmative action. By the time I got older, a lot of your Asians here went against affirmative action and claimed that, Black people shouldn't have affirmative action because, we're immigrants and we came here and we don't have anything helping us to get into schools. No, first of all, that has nothing to do with y'all. Like and this happened in California. Like,
what's so crazy? The crazy thing
and then even here, even here, like within like the community here, like we have, we got the Black folks and we got the Mexicans. Out here, it's like the Mexicans out here, people don't understand, like, not all Mexicans, I'm not gonna say all, I'm gonna say some of the ones I have come into contact with, they're actually they'll discriminate against you quicker than a white person will. And a lot of them identify as a white Hispanic, which to me is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like my last name is Rodriguez. Yeah, my last name is Rodriguez. So me coming up in school, they put me in the bilingual classes. They was looking at me like, because clearly I'm Black in something, like I'm Black. And so they would ask me like, are you Black and Mexican? I'm like, no, I'm Black and Puerto Rican. Puerto Rican, what's that? And blah, blah, blah. And it would be like conflicts and arguments we would get into. And it was crazy because like they literally come and will like discriminate against Black people, and it's like it's like an issue out here. People don't realize that,
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you're talking to somebody that knows everything. I know exactly what you're talking about. I live here in Florida, and of course, we're a melting pot, but most Hispanics here in Florida they're registered as white.
Right.
So that gets the numbers up for the white Americans, and then what they do is they like to take on that persona, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And they will then team up with them against us. Everybody team up with everybody.
It's like they get on team white supremacy against us at the end of the day. It's like y'all all benefiting off of the white privilege but then you still want to try to come on this side and try to get like the minority. It's like trying to play both sides.
Yeah, that's the reason why. That's the reason why, you know, nowadays, you know, everybody is starting to, you know, identify the difference. Like that minorities, that people of color shit, we can't be, we not allow ourselves to be lumped into that. We black us. It's right. It's black, you know, because that's that language that's used to you know, when they start saying people of color and shit, they don't talk about it.
That's inclusive everybody. They're not talking about black people. They're talking about everybody else. When they talking about everybody else but the black people.
Exactly. Exactly. And when they say when they say women, you know, when they use the word women, they really talking about white women, because you spoke about affirmative action. It's a fact that affirmative action actually benefits white women more than it benefits anybody. You know what I mean? That shit don't do nothing for us right now. You know what I mean? So
we don't even have it. We don't even have it. And when we did have it in Cali, it was helping black people, but the Asians were getting look it up. Prop 219. Proposition 2019.
Y'all hear what she's saying? Look the shit up, man. We ain't talking over here.
A lot of your Asians who moved out here to Cali, a lot of your Koreans, a lot of your Vietnamese, Chinese, they came out here, they felt some type of way. They didn't like that. They didn't want that to happen. And they went against it. They started what is that? I can't say, I'm getting lost for words, but and they started that, and that started going around, and literally it went away, and that was it. And we had it on our ballot again this last it was Prop 16 on our last for our voting ballots, and it didn't pass again. I'm just like, what the hell? And it's like, anything that benefits black people, y'all don't want it to go through.
But they ain't
like,
y'all don't want it to
go through. And even like in California, our governor, Gavin Newsom, he's like passed the bill last year that goes into effect this year in 2021 to give black people reparations. He passed the bill that's supposed to, they hired a task force, and they're supposed to allocate. They said, I think the number was like 1.8 or 1.9 million per black person. And on top of that, they're gonna help you with a down payment on your house. That was like what it was supposed to be. And that happened last year. And that's why if you look at what's going on in California, a lot of your like people who are against it, Republicans and other people who are against it, they're trying to recall him out as governor, because he's the first governor to ever put that bill in effect. And it's coming to pass this year. It's crazy. Like, black people can't get
that lets you know. That should let you know that when you are a politician, if you are a politician, let's say, and you are a celebrity that's wealthy, you can absolutely not do anything specifically for them black folks. You do that shit, and what's gonna happen? You going down. Your ass is going down. Like Oprah. Everybody like, why Oprah don't do nothing? Man, the minute Oprah try to do something specifically for us, it's a wrap. It's a wrap for that's anybody. You see, I mean, look how they took down Cosby. Cosby, if you notice, Princess, the Michael Jackson, and Tanae Jackson is one of my friends. I talk to her all the time, and she tells me a lot about, you know, how they going at the Michael Jackson estate. If you look at the Princes, the Michael Jacksons, even the Rick James, they was trying to go after him. All black people that accumulate that kind of wealth, before you die, or before you go out, or when you go out, they coming after that. You're not about to be passing that shit down. That's people don't be paying attention. You're not going. They like, yes, you can get it. Yeah, they're like, oh, look at all these wealthy black people. You can get it. But when you get it, when you die, we coming after that shit one way or another. Because what you not finna do is be passing that shit down from generation to generation and building
generational wealth.
You're not finna be doing that.
That's crazy.
It is.
No, it's crazy.
You know, so that's what we getting a lot of these like, if you notice, you notice like the Me Too movements and shit like that. You know, they take down black men. You know, because right now they're going after T.I. Now you just
seen that.
Yeah, you just had the white boy. What his name was? That the white boy that just beat the black girl up. That play in the NFL.
Oh yeah, the Seahawks player.
He beat the shit out of that girl.
They kept that shit quiet as hell.
Listen, Me Too ain't said nothing. But then, you know, T.I., he got these accusations against him. I don't know if he did that or not, but ain't been no proof of it. And Me Too, like, yo, we coming at him. Now VH1, like, yo, production, they already finished, they already starting. You know what I'm saying? So everybody, you know, now we looking at, okay, that's fine. You want to go out the well, y'all ain't said nothing about that white boy. I mean, the white boy admitted that he beat the girl up. They ain't say not a word. So these type of things are designed to target us. You know what I'm saying? And if you wealthy, oh nigga, they gotta come get that, man. So damn, well, we done went in on it. We going in, ain't we? But you know what I'm saying? So, I hope that you all can get some game from that, because a lot of this stuff is important and a lot of this stuff it's overlooked, but it's starting. You know, black media is covering this stuff now.
Black media, I would say right now, and I would say like this last year, the pandemic. I don't want to say like, oh, the pandemic. No, I feel like the pandemic is crazy what's happening, but I feel like because everything was kind of like shut down, everything kind of, it's like the world kind of almost stopped a little bit. People were actually able to see what we've been trying to say for the longest time.
Yes. And the thing is, 2020 was the year that lifted the veil. So that's why I tell people
it really was 2020 vision. It really was 2020.
It really was. And that's why I tell people now, if you don't see what's going on, if you can't actually see things now, you're being willfully ignorant. I don't even really want to talk to your ass. Because at this point, it's too late in the game for you to be trying to say, oh man, there ain't no racism. Man, y'all tripping. They ain't no nigga. They're not hiding it no more. They're not even hiding.
Come to Cali. I always tell people, come to Cali. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, Cali is very segregated. People are like, what do you mean? I'm like, it's segregated. It's literally, you have the black people on one side, you got the Asians, you got the white, and it's literally segregated, and it's done by design. The redlining is very heavy. Whoa. They redline and make sure they don't want to give you no loan. And the thing about it out here is they don't want to give you no loan to get a house. Like they make it really hard for you to get a loan to get a house. They make it really hard for you to get a loan to start a business. Yeah. And it's crazy. Like all the black owned businesses I know out here, the money came from elsewhere. It didn't come from a loan. It came from the stacking money. People crowdfunding, like I'm a big advocate for crowdfunding, like crowdfunding websites where you just put your shit up and have people just donate, like raising money on your own, because it's crazy how literally Cali is so segregated.
But you know, I mean that's actually American pie. Yeah. To make sure that they like the business loans. Now you can get a student loan, because that loan is gonna put you in debt. Yeah. It's gonna put you in debt. Yeah. But like the loan for a business, nah, your black ass can't get that. Get up out of here. You trying to go home? Nigga, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? None of that. We gotta literally, run our businesses from scratch. I do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to make the money to put the money back in. I have to start from
take
nothing.
The profit, reinvest it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, that was a bar and real shit though. Count the profit, put it back in. Literally. Yeah, and real. It's crazy because like a lot of people don't know, but I guess I'll say it today. But during the pandemic, I finished real estate school and I was applying on taking my California real estate license exam, but because of COVID, everything's been shut down. So every day I'm on the website, like trying to see if there's an opening when I could take it. Because for me, I feel like, as an artist, as an athlete, I feel like ownership is important, no matter what realm it is, whether it's owning all your records, owning your merchandise, owning your business, and owning property. And for me, I feel like we as Black people, owning property is very important. And I want to be able to get my license and help other Black people own property. Because at the end of the day, California is a gold mine. People don't understand, like, the Olympics is going to happen in 2028 in Cali, right in Inglewood, right where they're trying to gentrify, right where they're trying to turn everything into different areas and have it to where they're trying to move all the Black people out, have them move way out to Palmdale and Lancaster.
That's so crazy.
Don't sell your shit. If you have a house, don't sell your house.
No.
Open up a business, open up a coffee shop, get a triplex. That's considered residential. Get some passive income. Like, this is all important shit that
y'all gotta get some of this game, man. Get some of this game. You're right, because they doing and look, they gentrifying all over. I don't know if you ever been to Orlando, but here in Orlando, man, they gentrifying like crazy. It's an old hood. Used to be the projects called Orange Center here in Orlando.
Right.
I mean, Orange Center used to be the projects. You ride through that shit now. It looks so good, but guess what? Your black ass ain't finna be moving in there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They moved everybody out, tore that shit down, bought it all out. Now they got these new apartments there, and you ride through there, and it's like, damn, where all these white people come from? You know what I'm saying? And you don't see us. Like they just straight up took it, and it's like, wow, they doing that shit everywhere.
It's happening everywhere. And the cold part about it is they try to come, they want to gentrify. Because some people, I had this discussion with people where they say, oh, I'm for gentrification. But some black people I've had discussions with say, oh, I'm for. And I said, well, you know what? I'm not. I'm against it. Because this is why I'm against it. So at the end of the day, they're going to try to move everybody out, have it all white. But guess what? As a black person, you try to move to their neighborhood. You try to even go, you going to try to take a jog in their neighborhood. They're going to call the police, shoot you, some other shit.
Yeah.
Try to move it over there. They're gonna make it hard. They're gonna make it really hard. You know
and if you are successful at moving in over there, you're gonna have a listen.
Oh, it's gonna be problems the whole time you're there.
Every time you go to the park,
all types of shit.
Yeah, you're gonna be getting harassed and police popping up at your house and fucking what you talking about. Do you live here and all this? And you like, man, I've been here for years. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So man, listen, I'm glad we had this talk, man. I hope y'all can get some game from this. But y'all make sure y'all go get that X-Track Star. Y'all, it's on my site already. Yo, follow her. Matter of fact, tell them where they can follow you at, get the music at, and everything.
Okay, so y'all can follow me on Instagram. I am C-Rod, IAMCROD. Follow me on Twitter. I talk a lot of my shit too. Same place.
Yeah.
I am C-Rod, IAMCROD. Make sure you guys check out my website where you can buy my clothing and merch. xtrackstar.com or xtrackstar versus trackstar.com. Also, stream my song on any platform. You can stream it on Apple. You can stream it on wherever, Spotify.
And we're gonna
Tidal,
have it streamed in the magazine as well.
But right. But if you like the song, let's say you stream the record and you really like the record and you want to download the record, I'm going to say this right here. Don't download the record from iTunes, because as an artist, we get only a portion of that $1 that you're investing. So I have it set up on my website to where if you really are feeling the record, if you want to, have it downloaded to your phone, have it to your device, go to my website, xtrackstar.com. It's $1. It's the same exact price as iTunes. However, as an independent artist, I get the full $1.
Yes.
And I'm taking all my money now. As an independent artist, I use my money to reinvest back into the music and the clothes.
That's right. That's right. And we're gonna make sure that all of the links are gonna be in the article. That way you can go do that. Please go support her. Please go to her website and download that. Apple Music already got it. They got money. Okay,
they got it.
Yeah, I'm hating on them. They got money. We ain't got to get them no more. Give it to her. Let her build, because she is actually taking the money and helping to build up black communities and give back to the black community, man. So
yeah,
if we ain't doing that right now, if we ain't trying to do that, and another thing, you rappers, man, look. I know y'all like them Birkin bags and all that Gucci and shit, but y'all listen. There are black owned. Look, she has a clothing line. We need to start yelling that shit out in the songs, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because Gucci don't like your ass. They hate your black ass.
They don't like you.
Like, these people make these clothes, and then they. I remember in the 90s when Tommy Hilfiger said he didn't want black people wearing this shit. We were like, what?
Right.
We were the only ones who was making this shit. We make they shit hot, and they be like, yeah, I hate them.
That's what happened with JD and Chris Stahl when he said Chris Stahl, and then he said Chris Stahl did some funny shit. He said fuck it and stop talking about Chris Stahl, and then he has his own shit. Do say.
Yeah.
So it's like it's the same. Like me as a black entrepreneur, it's like I always buy black on my page. Any chance I get, I buy. When I buy something, I promote it. I put the website out, they link and that's what it's about. We got to keep the money in our own community, because at the end of the day, it's like it goes quickly. It's gone. Like it's here and then it's gone. It's right back into their community. It's right out of ours, right into theirs. So it's like you got to keep
that happens in the hood, because right in the hood, every store is owned by somebody else. So when we get our money, you go right down the street and that shit gone. You know what I mean?
So, that reminded me. Another thing I'm working on. One more thing before I don't want to hold your time up no more, but one more thing we're working on. So I'm actually, because of COVID, it's been kind of slowing down because Cali is like not all the way open. So I wanted to make sure I make the right business decision. But I'm working right now on opening up X Trackstar versus Trackstar clothing store. Is going to be a double store. And then the other side of the store is going to be a beauty supply. Because I'm tired of seeing these beauty supplies owned by Koreans and not Black owned. I'm like, I walk into the beauty supply, but you can't tell me what's going to work on my hair because we got 2 different types of hair textures. It ain't going to work. So this clothing store is going to be on Century and Prairie in Inglewood, right next to everything. Because they're, like I said, they're gentrifying heavy over there. They just put the SoFi Stadium. They got the Clipper Stadium. They're about to have the Olympics there in 2028. They're trying to gentrify. So for me, it's like, I want to have these 2 stores here and, it be Black owned and have it just, open it up and have different events there, even stuff like with the real estate, have like seminar and just have like a bunch of stuff. And so that's the goal. We are talking. We signed a promissory note. Me and my partner, me and her signed a promissory note to the owner. So because of COVID, it's still kind of slowing down. We want to make sure, like, hey, we don't want to get this place and then everything shut down again. So we're playing it by ear, but that's the goal. So yes.
Well, listen, when I come out to Cali, I'm definitely rocking with you. I got a lot of people to come out there and see. So I mean, hopefully we can get past this COVID thing. They riding it. Will fall off because the major corporations are eating and small businesses are dying. So
that's how it is.
Yeah, they don't. The
rich got richer during this time.
Yes.
Yeah, the rich got richer.
So I want to thank you for taking your time out to chop up this game. I'm so glad we did this because when we're able to drop jewels like this, I love that. And I love that you're using your music and your brand to uplift the community. And I just want to thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful. And you're always, everything you do is always in the magazine. So I'm gonna keep doing the same thing to show my support. You dig what I'm saying?
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. So y'all make sure y'all go get that. Y'all make sure if for the YouTube hit the likes. I never say that kind of shit because it's all about apexcouturemag.com. I don't own YouTube. I own the mag. You dig? So listen, we gonna get up out of here, man. And I'm gonna let her get back to her business, and y'all make sure y'all check out this dope ass article because this is how we do this. Cultural Conversations out.